Pierre Ng, the feature race on Wednesday night is the Community Chest Cup Race 4. You've got a couple of runners. Let's start with the top weight I Can. Back to the world quickly, but that was a lovely return to action last week.
Yeah, he ran brilliant last week. He was just a bit unlucky in the straight and come home late and nearly got it. So with a small field, and I back him up, he put up well. So another draw 9, so we just have to ride him quiet. Hopefully he do it again.
I've got a feeling, personally, that form, short-headed behind Road to New Page, might just stand the test of time.
Yes, it was a strong time last time, and I think this is the best way we can be ridden him and finish off strongly, and hopefully he do it again with a good pace.
You've got a jockey that knows him very well. Andrea's riding him for the 18th time. In fact, he's the only man to have won on him. So great that you've been able to secure his services again for a horse that he knows really well.
Yeah, he knows him well. He's been riding him so many times. He won on him 2 times, 3 times. So hopefully he can keep going.
He's going to be joined by Victor the Rapid. Interesting runner, going up in trip, trying the 1650 for the first time.
Yeah, it's sort of a try. He's first up last week in 1200 seems a bit one pace, so we just take a bet with small field. We ride him with a cover and hopefully he can finish strong home.
He's a 5-year-old. Did you find with perhaps some of the horses in your stable, Pierre, that over time, there is just that sort of possibility that they do just get over a bit more distance and they want it, don't they?
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it does. And as they get older, they just wasn't that sharp with the speed and they need further distance.
For 1650, he's drawn 6 as well, so probably a decent enough draw, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy enough with the draw as I can draw 9 with the widest, so 6 is much better than I can.
Derek Leung, you're riding Vulcanus coming up at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. You've only ridden him the once, but it was a winning ride, so you must be looking forward to getting back on board.
Yes, last season he had a perfect run, everything perfect for him, so he won quite impressive. And this time we have not back gate, try to do the same and try to finish strong.
Going back to that win, Derek, I went back and had a look at the replay. It was an impressive win, wasn't it? I know it was the end of the season and he might have been beating some tired horses, but he did it very well.
Yes, he had a good gate last time and he took the advantage and he jumped sharp, get a good position. That's how he won. And this time try to do the similar thing, try to make him jump sharp and see what happens.
What did you make of his trial, Derek? I know you've been on him for that trial. Were you happy with the trial?
Yes, well, he have a short break, come back, just have a easy trial. We're all happy.
Do you think, obviously I know you've only ridden him just the once in a race, but do you think there might be a little bit more improvement still to come from him? Obviously, it can be tough when they go up in the handicap, but you think there's a bit more to come?
Yeah, I think he still have something left inside, but he need to do everything perfectly and then he can show his ability.
Talking of horses that do things perfectly, obviously going back through the record of a horse like Lucky Sweynesse, he's been pretty perfect down through the seasons. You must be looking forward to heading over to Japan to ride him. Obviously, confirmation that you've been granted that permission to ride overseas. You must be really looking forward, Derek, to going and riding him in Japan on the back of a nice return.
Yes, well, I'm very lucky and lucky enough have good owner and the trainer support me, and the horse, very nice horse, and seems like the form is getting back. And after the race, I get up him yesterday. He felt good for me, and try to let him see what happened in Japan.
Just going back to his return, Derek, I know he was beaten by obviously a superstar in Kai Rising, but he was not disgraced at all. If the old Lucky Sweynesse returns to his best form, he's a major player in Japan, isn't he?
Yes, well, he been like a more than a year break, come back, only 2 starts. He still won not bad with the top weight, and this time he only first up and he still won good, and seems like his form is getting back, and I think it's not that old.
Mark Newnham, you're pretty well represented in race 7. 2 different types of horses as well. You've got one that's going to probably rush forward, one that's going to be held up off the pace. But let's start with Youthful Spirits, the one that's slightly higher rated. How is he? Obviously over his favourite course and distance once again.
Yeah, look, he doesn't change much. We know what to expect from him. He's a very quick horse, and you can't hold him up too much. His head gets higher, and he doesn't breathe the best. So you have to just work with him. And Luke gets on well with him. him. His frustrating season last season, I think 5 seconds, including one that was everyone thought he was the winner, but didn't get the verdict. He's had a trial. He's going well, but we won't see much change in him.
No, absolutely. And I mean, looking back to his record, his win came off 65 in June of 2024. He's a real honest, consistent horse. I mean, you, I'm sure, would love to see him win another one. So too his connections, as too would many of us, because he's sort of going up the weights without winning, which is always a bit tough, isn't it?
Yeah, frustrating because he's paying for his consistency, but without winning. I mean, he did earn plenty of prize money, which was nice for his owners, but frustrating for his trainer and jockey.
I'm sure it was. Well, hopefully that frustration will come to an end. You've also got Spicy Gold. I really want to speak to you about him because he's an interesting horse over the minimum trip. Yeah,
really good fresh. I just thought 1,000 fresh off a fast pace might suit him early in the season. He's been very consistent at Happy Valley, but we haven't tried the 1,000 with him. But there's every opportunity that he'll hit the line strongly.
I thought his trial mark looked really good recently as well.
Yeah, look, he was fresh and he got up on the pace, which is unusual for him. But he stayed on well in good company. But look, with tomorrow night's pace of the race, I'd expect that he'll settle in the last couple, but look for him late.
Talking of sort of last season, slightly contrasting between your pair, obviously, Youthful Spirits not managing, but this fellow won 3 last year, and he's sort of a bit like the gift that keeps on giving. He always seems to pop up and do his job and know his job, doesn't he? Yeah, and look, he's looking at him and the way he races, he's the most unlikely Happy Valley horse you'd ever see. He's big and awkward, gets back. All the things that generally don't win your races at Happy Valley, but once he gets it together, he chases hard, and he didn't put in a bad run all season. I know they're two slightly different horses and will run in slightly different styles, but can you split the pair of them? I know they're two very different sort of dynamics coming into this race.
I probably have a slight leaning to Spicy Gold. I just see there'll be a lot of pressure up front with Candlelight Dinner and Youthful Spirits. And Youthful Spirits, he did take a couple of runs last season before he got to his best, so I'd say that Spicy Gold's a little bit better fresh.
Well, Hewitson, pretty good race coming up on Wednesday night, the 8th. You're riding steps ahead, a horse that you know really well, and he's going to get competitive in this, isn't he, given what we know about him?
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. Of course, I rode him in the 4-year-old series, and even then I was of the opinion that he's probably looking for blinkers and maybe even the 1650 at Happy Valley. Unfortunately, I wasn't on him when he did go to Happy Valley, but he acquitted himself very well with the distance and the headgear. And there's no reason why he can't continue that vein of form because he's a very consistent horse. Yeah,
it's interesting you mentioned the headgear, of course. I mean, that obviously stood to him well, didn't it? And the fact he's had a good sight around here and gone close, that's obviously a massive plus point.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a horse that likes a building tempo, which you usually get at Happy Valley. And the blinkers sort of just help him because a lot of the time he's been edged out close to the line. And we just thought it could help him to keep his focus right through past the post. So, yeah, look, like I said, he held a great vein of form last season, and there's no reason why he won't continue this season.
He's had a recent trial, and I know you didn't ride him there, but he looked pretty comfortable in it. You've ridden him in some track work, and what you know about him, he's quite a good fresh horse too, and his record would certainly suggest that.
Yeah, I think the freshness just helps him have a little bit more of a change of gear. In his trial, he showed that freshness because he travelled probably a fraction better than usual in the middle stages, and then he was a bit plain at the end. But I mean, you could forgive him for that, and he will have come on. And his track work the other day, I thought he felt that he was pretty fit for first up horse, and certainly had come on from his trial. So he's going into the race in good condition for first up run.
And with that, obviously, that level of fitness, he sort of needs to be, doesn't he? Because this is a good competitive race.
Yeah, really good race, and it's just made harder by a tricky draw for us, especially with the way it looks like it's going to map on paper. But he's a horse that jumps well, and then you can sort of assess the situation because he is very versatile. So, I think if all being well and he gets a decent spot in the run, which I'm sure he will do for himself, then he'll be very competitive and should be fighting at the finish.
And hopefully, Lyle, he can add to the tally that you've already got up and running. Well done, obviously, the winner on the weekend. I guess a relieving moment, sort of getting that winner on the board, obviously, after, obviously the injuries, etc. Nice to get back in the winner's circle. Yeah, well, it was the 24th of June when I last rode in a race, so it was nice to get back on the board, like you say. Sort of monkey off the back, but also just a great feeling to win on one that seems pretty nice in a slick time. And also just give owners and trainers a bit more confidence. I think there's always that slight bit of doubt in the head, but it was a good weekend. I had 5 rides, 2 seconds and a winner, and the other one ran well. So, yeah, I think that things are ready to go full steam ahead.